Welcome back. In this step, we would learn how to add a comment to our HTML page. A comment is a text that you add, or it's a note that you add to your code which should explain something about the code, or it could also be information about the author of the code or the date when the code was written and stuff like that. So comment is generally added which you do not want to be displayed on the web page when it is loaded on the web browser, but you want to keep it as a note to yourself or a note to some other programmer who's going to look at your code to understand what a piece of code is doing in your web page. So when a browser engine hits a comment, it will not interpret it and display it on the web page. Instead of that, it will ignore it so that the comment will not be seen on the web page when it is loaded in the web browser. So the steps to add a comment are very simple. You just create an open angle bracket, and followed with an exclamation mark and two hyphens. Now this will follow any text that you want to add as a comment. Let me add the author, for example. I'll just add my name here. And the way you close a comment is you again provide two hyphen and a closing angle bracket. So this whole section, this whole tag, or this whole piece of code that you see here highlighted forms a comment in an HTML page. So this is an example of a single line comment. You could also have multiple line comments. So if you want to add more information to your comment, like the date when this file was written, the version of the file and stuff like that, then you could have a multi-line comment. So how do you do a multi-line comment? You open the comment the same way as you opened here, and then you keep adding more lines that you want to add as a text for your comment. So it could be the date, for example. Let me add a date as 21st January 2018. It could be a version that you want to add to this file. So a version is basically a one single count or one single unique identifier for this file. So whenever someone changes, they would go ahead and increment this number. So that would form a unique identification for that version of the file that the new web programmer went ahead and created. So after you have added such all the text that you want in your comment, you just go ahead and close the comment just like you did the last time. Two hyphens and a closing angle bracket. In this case, this whole block of text that you have here forms a multi-line comment. So that's pretty much it. So that's how you add a comment in HTML. Comments are very helpful, and it is advised to add comment in your code whenever the code is extremely complex. So in the future, we would be also exploring other programming languages like JavaScript, or we would also be looking at style sheets like CSS. So the way that you add comment in those languages are different than the way that you add comment in HTML. So in HTML, you usually add a comment when you add a piece of HTML code in your web page, which is pretty complex, or which is pretty tough for someone to understand when they look at your code. Or you also add a comment when you want to specify the author, the date, or the version, like we did here. So this brings this step to the end, and also it brings the section to the end. So congratulations, you have completed the first section of getting to know HTML. In the next section, we would be looking at multimedia tags and table and forms. So it's going to be a pretty exciting section. So see you there.